Good morning. Have you ever made a mistake and you went, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that"? Well, I remember one time I was in, let's see, it was back in the 90s, and we were in San Francisco, and we needed to turn around and get to the airport. And so we went from our hotel and we actually had to rent a car. And I made a wrong turn, and then I realized I had a small period of time where I could turn around. Otherwise, I would have been on a bridge going across the bridge all the way to the other side going towards Oakland, and it would be really hard to turn around. I had that period of time, that split period of time where I could have made a change and it would have changed everything and we wouldn't have been so stressed. We did make it on time to the airport. But that's one of the things that I've learned about finance is that you can, if you don't correct your mistakes, that's more important than having perfect timing. So welcome to Market Coffee Talk. I'm Louis Llanes. I'm going to be talking about investing wisely so that work is optional. Probably the number one thing people want. But before we get started, I have to have a sip of my coffee. So I hope you have some coffee with you now. Well, it's time to get our morning started. So when you're dealing with investing wisely for retirement, making sure that work is optional, it really starts off with 4 cornerstones. And I thought I'd walk through those. So if you can imagine a platform, you know how people have a platform like a social media platform, and everything is launched off that platform, like a platform for a rocket. Same thing with finances. And it starts with your 4 cornerstones. And the first part of that 4 cornerstones is adequate protection or your current situation. So a lot of people try to get ahead of themselves and start investing without actually getting the basics down. So it's never too late to correct your mistakes, first of all. And that was the point of my first statement. Correcting your mistakes is more important than perfect timing. So you can get started on this kind of stuff that I'm talking about anytime. Doesn't matter how old you are. You'll always be better off if you start this way. So you start with the 4 cornerstones. Adequate protection is cornerstone number 1. And what that means, do you have an adequate cash reserve? 3 to 6 months of your expenses should be set aside, and that should be held for any kind of emergencies. And if you're a sole earner, you should probably have more, like a year's worth of expenses set aside. That's really boring, but having that money set aside really helps. Then the other part of adequate protection has to do with all your basics with insurance. Nobody likes paying insurance, but you really need it. So disability for if you're working, life insurance for your loved ones, health insurance, liability insurance, all that. That's the basic platform. So the second part, once you've got the first part set up, the adequate protection, then you can move on to the second part of the platform, which is moving into the wealth building or the growth phase. This is where the fun begins. This is the world that we live in every day. And that has to do with investing wisely in stocks and bonds. Putting money in investments that have a good opportunity to grow, things that are part of the future and not part of the past. Once you've got that going and you're on track, you're saving the right amount, and you've got the right investment strategy, then it's looking to actually get that plan for retirement. What is that plan that's going to set you up so that work is optional? And that's really what this is about. So if you have already achieved that, great. Then it's about keeping that scenario. But if you haven't yet gotten to the point where work is optional, where your investments are growing enough, or you have a plan where the trajectory can get you to the point where work is optional, then this is what I'm talking. This is for you. And listen up. When you're dealing with retirement planning, you have to start with your company plan. Understand exactly what's happening with your company plan, what your options are there, and take full advantage of that. If you're an entrepreneur, you've got to take full advantage of whatever kind of retirement plan you can have in your company, however it's set up. It starts with that, making sure that you've got that going, get the tax breaks. And then you have to build upon that because Social Security is not going to be enough. And once you've got Social Security put together and you understand that it may or may not be there and you're ready for that, you're working with your company plan, then it's investing outside of that plan. So there's a lot of decisions that need to be made there, like should I have a Roth or should I have should I be in my 401k? And everybody's situation is different depending on their income, etc. But knowing the rules, and the rules are always changing. So the third part of that platform is retirement planning, getting that trajectory that's going to get you there so you know that work is optional. And then after that is legacy. So once you've got yourself fully set up and your work is optional, it's about preserving that money and then giving it to loved ones or doing what you want your legacy to be. So there's 6 key concerns that everybody has when it comes to investing or finances. The first would be your current situation. Getting that together. That's that adequate protection part, your budget, all of that stuff. Then there's usually some education planning. And then there's retirement, taxes, a big one, taxes, protecting yourself and your legacy. So in order to make this work, if you have not gotten a real plan together, that's what I urge you to do. What is your plan? What plan do you have to make sure that work is optional? Retirement is affordable. If you're already there, then what is your plan to make sure that it stays in a situation that's going to work? What is the plan? All right, so that's all I have for you today. I wanted you to just know the 4 cornerstones: adequate protection, wealth building, retirement, legacy. Do it in that order. And then the 6 key concerns: current situation, education, retirement, taxes, protection, and legacy. Handle that, and you'll be well on your way. That's all I have for now. Oh, I have an announcement too. Wanted to let you know that I'm going to be moving the time slot till 9 a.m. Mountain because that's a better time for most people. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to be coming on at 9 a.m. And if you like this information, please like, share, subscribe with your friends. And if you need any assistance, you can always go to info@wealthnetinvest and give us a shout. Hope you're having a great day.